Hey guys, MovieFan 2002 here, and anyways, so because my last video was a bit more tragic due to honoring the 20th anniversary of 9/11, I'm gonna make this one a bit more lighthearted for this one. Anyways, I want to let you know, if you've been seeing my past videos, you probably noticed that some of them have something in common with what we're talking about. Yes, I am a brony, meaning that I am a fan of
My Little Pony, My Little Pony. My Little Pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be. Little Pony. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness, it's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Do you know you're all my very best friends?
Created by Lauren Faust and made its debut in October of 2010, this show was launched an unexpected phenomenon. You see, before this show aired, My Little Pony was always viewed as girl stuff. The first few generations was mainly just, eh. So when people heard that was making a fourth one, it was like, okay, it's just another one. But little did people know is that a phenomenon was about to occur. When the show aired, well, I think it was immediately when it started. Not only did little girls watch it, but adults watched it, and it instantly spread. And now we are in a fandom with called Bronies and Pegasisters. I myself being one of them. For me, when I got into the show, it was around 2013. In between the hiatus between season 3 and season 4. And I'm so glad I got into it because I saw all the episodes just in time before season 4 to air. That, and also I saw the first Equestria Girls movie. But still, I got into it, and during it, I watched all the episodes when they aired, saw the other Equestria Girls films, well, when they came on TV, even including their specials, and I got to see the 2017 movie when it was in theaters. And in my opinion, I thought it was really underrated. It's definitely possibly the most underrated film of 2017. Hear that, Justice League? I'll explain more about that when I get the Blu-ray of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And on the subject of a My Little Pony movie, as we all know, in less than a couple weeks, the new My Little Pony film that will star of Generation 5, My Little Pony: A New Generation, will be hitting Netflix. My apologies, I didn't do a trailer reaction for that. Same thing can be said about The Eternals and Spider-Man No Way Home. But, so, in honor for this event, I'm going to do something that I think I should have done a while ago, and I mean last year. My favorite episode of each season of Friendship is Magic. I'm doing it like this because I was inspired by Sean Chandler's video last year when he made a video of the MCU for his favorite moment of each film. If you want to go check that video out, please go ahead. He's a great YouTuber, by the way. Also, I need to also clarify that these are my personal opinions, and I'm going to be going to some spoilers. So if you have not caught up and probably are watching the other seasons in preparation for the new movie, then don't watch this video for those who haven't seen any of the episodes I'm going to be talking about from the later seasons. So anyways, without further ado, here are my favorite episodes of each season of Friendship is Magic.
We all owe our cutie marks to you! Do you realize what this means? All of us had a special connection before we even met.
We've been BFFs forever and we didn't even know it.
Come here, y'all.
Oh, I love you guys!
For season 1, I'm going with the Cutie Mark Chronicles. Now there were tons of great episodes of season 1, but I picked this one the most because not just for their origin stories, but also like of how they were all connected. As you saw in the clip, Rainbow Dash's Sonic Rainboom not only made her get her cutie mark by making her win the race, but it also made Applejack find her way back home, Twilight succeeding her entrance entrance exam. Dang it, I have a bit of a tongue twister today. Rarity's inspiration for clothing, Pinkie Pie's sense of laughter, and Fluttershy able to communicate with animals. Yeah, it can be a bit sappy, but you know what? They all have they all had a rainbow connection. Huh. If Fluttershy said they were going to sing a song, I wouldn't be surprised that they would be singing this.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them in my head. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to believe. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Yeah, I know that song is kind of old, but I had to do it for this.
This day is going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. Every pony will gather round, see I look lovely in my gown. What they don't know is that I have fooled them all.
This part is going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. That I would put a wedding as my favorite episode of the second season of MLP. Yeah, I know it doesn't necessarily rhyme, but I just had to do it. But all joking aside, A Candlelight Wedding is a fantastic episode of season 2 and my favorite. I was also close to putting the return of Harmony on there because it's the introduction to one of my favorite characters of the show, Discord, but I went with this one instead. Now, this episode was great for 3 reasons. 1, the songs. Yeah, BBBFF is a good song, but This Day Araya and Love is in Bloom, they're top notch, especially This Day Araya. I mean, it basically brought you back to like the days of the Disney Renaissance when they used to do those grand epic villain songs. Hope Disney will go back to that this decade. Second is that we get the introduction of new characters. The first being Twilight's brother, Shining Armor, who is his BBBFF, Big Brother Best Friend Forever, who is of course getting married to Princess Cadence, or as Princess Celestia calls her, Mi Amore Cadenza. Yeah, I know, it's kind of a little bit of a weird name in my opinion. However, this Cadence is actually a fake. The one, well, at least in part 1, because it turns out the real one was hidden underneath the Candlelight Castle, and the real one turned out to be the villainous Queen Chrysalis, as she wants to affect his brother's the love for both her and Shining Armor in order to take over Candlelight, which almost happens. This leads to an epic, awesome battle between the main six versus the Changelings. But unlike the previous 2 outings where the main six actually used those rainbow lasers to defeat the bad guy, this time it's actually Shining Armor and Princess Cadence's turn, which is nice to at least change a couple things up for once. Besides, they wouldn't do that whole rainbow thing again till the end of season 4. Also, the more I think about it, the more I realize is that the Battle of Candlelight, when the main six were fighting the Changelings, was the precursor to the Battle of New York in the Avengers. I know it's kind of surprising because basically the episode was released 2 weeks before the movie, but just see for yourself.
Okay, this is just getting weird.
Looks like I rest my case here.
Twilight? Is that you?
Jumping from one season finale to the next, for season 3, I'm going with Magical Mystery Cure. Now you think I just put the episode just because of the whole fan reaction with Twilight becoming an Alicorn princess, which, to be fair, my brother and I were ecstatic when we first saw that. But that is not the only reason why I have this episode on here. I also have it because, one, this is my favorite musical episode of the series, even though I do love Pinkie Pride. And this episode made Twilight create her own magic, which is how she actually got, because she finished one of Star Swirl's spells. So this also makes total sense. Anyway, I like that the episode was more of a sort of slice of life finale, kind of like season 1, but the episode did had conflict, unlike the best night ever. Overall, this was fantastic episode, and definitely a heartwarming one. And those songs I can't get tired of, especially A True True Friend. I mean, how can you not stop singing that song? This came as a surprise for many for season 4, but yeah, Twilight's Kingdom is the best of the season. And to be fair, up until another episode from a later season that we'll be getting to later, this was my favorite episode of the series. It was just phenomenal. Every second of it felt like an epic event, and they went all out. I mean, they put the stakes high in this, having a villain that can suck all the magic in Equestria, even the Earth Pony's strength and the Pegasus flight. Not to mention Twilight's library getting destroyed, and Discord for a moment, and Discord actually completing his redemption arc. Yes, he was reformed near the end of season 3, but this is his actual redemption, where he officially learns what friendship is. Not to mention that the battle between Twilight and Tyrek was just freaking intense. It's like if you combined Tony Stark battling Thanos on Titan in Infinity War and Cap battling Thanos with Mjolnir in Endgame, but before those movies, they were like a lot intense and exciting. Sure, those ones were also more intense because they nearly died. In fact, Twilight almost died in this as well. But it was really amazing, and you felt the sheer intensity during it. This is what. So if you think this show's for little girls even after with the fandom getting started, you might want to think again after seeing this. So yeah, fantastic finale.
Before I left Canterlot, I didn't really appreciate my friends. And that's because I didn't know how important friendship was. But I've learned so much since I moved to Ponyville. I learned what it means to be a good friend, and that I certainly wasn't one to the three of you. So for all the pain I caused you, I am truly sorry.
That was a pretty bold speech, Twilight. Now, I know what you're... Now, what? You thought I was going with the Season 5 finale? I'm just taking a break for this one. Yeah. But still, picking my favorite episode of Season 5 was kind of hard. I was close with going with Crusaders of the Lost Mark, mainly because that was the episode where the Cutie Mark Crusaders finally got their cutie marks, and especially on the day that it marked the show's 5th anniversary. But I went with the Mending Fences because it went with another element, because it went with a more element from Season 1, mainly the show's beginning. Twilight's friends from Candlelot. I'm glad they decided to make this episode because this episode felt like a love letter for Lauren Faust. They decided to let's have her go back to Candlelot. Let's have her reunite with her old friends. Let's see how she felt after all those years. The episode is nothing short but emotional. Yes, there are a bit of comedy here and there, but it is mostly an emotional episode. Twilight wants to go back just so she can make amends with the friends that she hadn't really known much, so because she was more focused on her studies before moving to Ponyville. This, of course, while Lemon Hearts, Minuet, and Twinkle were okay with this, there was Moondancer, who not only looks like Twilight, but also acted like her before the series even started, mainly before she moved to Ponyville. She wants to be isolated, studies in the Candlelot Library, maybe just studying in her house, basically all that. In fact, remember in the first episode that Spike mentioned Moondancer for the party? Well, we got to see what happens when she went, and she felt disappointed. So when she decides to do it again, at first she was pretty much furious because she felt humiliated because she couldn't show up. But she had different things that day. Well, she had to go away. It was sad. And although they do get to make amends, it was pretty sad. I could sort of relate to Moondancer because I have a friend who I used to be in touch with. And it's been nearly a year and a half since I last talked to him. Not only has he been avoiding me, he's also been avoiding his father. But I have hope that my friend will come back and socialize again. We were good friends once. I have no doubt we'll be good friends again in the future. And the last 5 minutes of this episode was mainly, it felt like the ending of a Pixar film, like Up, or Toy Story 3, or Coco. Like I said at the beginning, this is pretty much the love letter episode for Lauren Faust. I just love it.
Are back. They've pony-napped all of the most powerful ponies in Equestria. Celestia, Luna, Cadence, Shining Armor, Flurry Heart, Twilight and her friends. We need to...
They took Fluttershy?
Yes.
Where are they?
Yeah, I had to do that. But yeah, for season 6, I'm going with To Wear It Back again. I know some people don't really like this episode, but for me, I really do. And there are a few reasons. One, I genuinely like Starlight. This is the first time when I finally genuinely like Starlight Glimmer. Yeah, I sort of liked her in the Crystalline, but to be fair, they didn't really give that much in season 6. This was where she had her big shining moment, and it actually worked here. Not to mention that Discord and Trixie's bickering also worked as hilarious comedy. But what I think made this episode great for me is the fact that this is pretty much possibly the only time throughout the entirety of the series where it's only a group of side characters that have to do the saving. Yes, I remember Princess Cadence did it, but the main 6 were mainly still the center of attention. This time, it's supporting characters, and I think it's nice for a change of pace for once. And also, while I don't really mind the whole reformation of the changelings with them becoming multicolored, I am glad they did not reform Chrysalis. they did not reform Chrysalis, because I feel like it was better to have her fail at reforming Chrysalis, and she just runs away seeking revenge. That in my opinion, I think works very well. To Where and Back Again is a very underrated episode, even though, to be fair, the title sounds similar to There and Back Again, if you know what I'm talking about.
We're far apart in every way, but you're the best part of my day. And sure as I breathe the air, I know we are the perfect pair on a prickly path that goes on for miles. But it's worth it just to see you smile.
This wasn't a surprise for many for season 7. Yeah, I'm going with the perfect pair. I mean, and why is that? Because we finally get to meet Applejack's parents. Well, through flashbacks, of course, but still! And unlike parental guidance with Rainbow Dash's parents, where they were just irritating and I wanted them to shut up, just like Rainbow Dash. The perfect pair, on the other hand, did not have this problem. In fact, at all, because they definitely had a beautiful love story, which is a bit similar to Romeo and Juliet, but they don't die in the end. I mean, obviously, because this is a cartoon, where its audience was initially aimed for children before adults came in. Well, it's still aimed for children, but you get the point. Anyways, if you're wondering their parents' names, it's Bright Mac and Pear Butter. And yes, you heard me right. No, Applejack, Big Mac, and Apple Bloom are half pear. Yeah, I know. Even they were shocked about it, and yet it works very well. But it doesn't. But you know what's kind of funny is that they died before the series began, and yet Granny Smith and Grandpere, another character that is introduced in this episode, actually was still alive up until the end of the series. Don't you feel like they should have switched it up and have them be dead and have Bright Mac and Pear Butter be with them up until the show's finale? Yep, I should think so as well. But even with that, it still did not face the fact that this was just one beautiful episode. And just like Amending Fences, the ending had me in tears.
'Cause rainbows won't light up the sky unless you let it rain, and candles just won't glow until they're burned. No, you can't give up your laughter 'cause you're scared of a little pain. It's a lesson that my village never learned. No matter how hard I schooled them, fear of hurt is still what ruled them. Sometimes you gotta let it rain.
Yeah, for season 8, I'm going with Sounds of Silence, which I'm not sure many people were surprised about this one. I was gonna go with the finale School Race because of how surprisingly they handled a twist villain, unlike Disney was doing during earlier that decade with Cozy Glow. But at the end, I went with this episode because I feel like this was the more entertaining episode. Plus, this was sadly also the last friendship map episode because there wasn't any in season 9. But back onto this. This is still a fantastic episode. In fact, this possibly might be the best map episode of the entire series. What I really love, of course, I love that they introduced the Kirin, like these creatures who can also turn to Nerex, which, of course, it's actually their name spelled, it's Kirin spelled backwards. But the standout Kirin is obviously Autumn Blaze, voiced by Rachel Bloom, who would later go on to be in Trolls World Tour. But I'm not gonna go there right now. But back onto this. But she was much better in this. We can all agree on that. And of course, the song A Kieran Tale, yeah, that's actually the name of the song, is fantastic. I mean, who could not stop singing it or just keep listening to it on repeat? It's just so good. So good. Also, the episode really does give out a really strong message on, like, you shouldn't, like take away all of your emotions. You should still have them, because just a bottle of just anger won't, because taking away your emotions will just make things worse instead of better. Yeah, this episode is fantastic. Love it.
Sure can! Way to go, Twilight!
It's not me.
Equestria!
Assemble.
For season 9, I'm going with the 2-part finale. Well, even though it's sort of like technically with the ending of the end. Even though there's one more other episode from this season I'm going to put on here. But still. Now I know some people complain about this finale due to the certain element that Discord was Grogar. But there actually was build up towards it. In the Summer Sunset back, Discord said, and pardon me for my Discord impression, you know, it seems like you'll be ready for whatever comes next, Your Majesty. That informs you that Discord was hiding something. So, although I wasn't that disappointed with that, was I a bit disappointed that we didn't get to see a battle between Grogar and the main six? Yes. But to be fair, the villains for this season was more on Chrysalis, T-Rex, and Cozy Glow. So because they got more screen time than Grogar, I think I'm gonna have to let that slide and let them take the spot. But even with that, it didn't escape the fact that it was still a pretty awesome finale. The action was intense. The main six got some development for the final time. Well, sort of final time. Everyone got a chance to sign, well, with the exception of Celestia and Luna just being knocked out as always. And the scene where everyone comes together. Now technically it was the Student 6 who brought them all back after what they were doing, but still, just to see this moment was just amazing. It's basically the Avengers Assemble scene from Endgame, even though, to be fair, Twilight wasn't leading the battle, but it would have been a lot cooler like that. But still, it was great. However, this isn't the only episode of season 9 I have on here, because there is also
Where the magic happens. This is where the magic lives. Our friendships weave together stronger. The bonds grow deeper, lasting longer. And the greatest spell you'll know is how the magic of friendship grows.
Yep, I'm also putting the epilogue finale to the series, The Last Problem, or as I like to call it, Friendship Will Always Be Magic. Talk about a perfect ending to this franchise. Well, to the series, as well as the franchise as a whole. Man, I just loved every second of it. It's definitely how you end the series. And I really like that they actually decided to go down this route by making it a somewhat normal episode, even though it's not necessarily normal because this is the epilogue, where it's set years in the future, where Twilight's now fully grown to her new life as ruler of Equestria, and it's basically starting like a new generation with introducing Luster Dawn, even though, to be fair, it's not Generation 5 is going to be taking place after like centuries after the events of the show, I think, depending on when the movie takes place. But what I'm really but it's just so nice. Just we get to see a finale where everyone gets their endings, and the main six still get to be in touch with each other, even with the Council of Friendship. because no matter how busy life gets, they're still gonna make time for each other, and it's definitely relatable because we all been there before. And of course, the ending song, "The Magic of Friendship Grows." If that did not have you crying, then I do not know what will, because I was just bawling my eyes out because it was coming to an end, and the book closing, marking the end of an era. To me, this is pretty much my favorite episode of the entire series. So, that's gonna be it for. Anyways, that's gonna be it for my favorite episodes of each season of Friendship is Magic. Thank you all for watching, and until the next video comes, please like this video and subscribe and comment down below if you enjoy. And please show me your favorite episode from each season of the series in the comments below. Till then, peace. And remember, friendship will always be magic.
Oh, and how